This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
Yo, you are listening to KRSM LP 98.9 FM, Minneapolis. This is the social enterprise of Pillsbury United Communities, radio for all. This episode is presented in partnership with Minnesota Public Radio and Little Moments Count. Little Moments Count is a statewide collaborative focused on helping parents and caregivers learn more about the importance of brain development in the first 3 years of life. Nearly 80% of brain growth happens in the first 1,000 days, and small moments of interaction like talking, playing, reading, and singing help create the pathways that build a child's brain during these early stages of life. For more information, you can visit littlemomentscount.org. KRSM Radio is way excited to be partnering with Little Moments Count to host conversations focused on early childhood development. We'll be welcoming a new guest every other month or so to talk about their involvement in Little Moments Count and how they view the role of early childhood development in creating bright futures and strong communities. Crystal Stein. Yep. Crystal Stein is the and I'm going to let her do her introduction, but I'm going to try to take an attempt at, praising this sister that's sitting in front of me. So, Crystal Stein is the founder and CEO of Beret.
Correct,
Of Beret Publishing, a Minnesota-based children's media company dedicated to reimagining early childhood learning through storytelling, music, and accessibility. I like that last one, and we'll talk about why in a second too. Through its flagship division, Beret Books, Crystal has created a first-of-its-kind collection of multi-sensory board books that integrate original music, I did say that, poetry, grade 2 braille, encouraging families to read, sing, and engage together from the very beginning. The books are incredible. Her work is rooted in a mission to illuminate the stories of historically overlooked artists and composers, bringing their legacies to life for a new generation. Beret Publishing operates as an omni-channel platform, expanding beyond books into music, animation, and educational programming to support meaningful early interactions between children and caregivers. Prior to founding Beret Publishing, Crystal spent over 16 years in financial services as a finance executive, most recently at Big Four firm, which she advised organizations on strategy, operations, and growth. She now brings that same level of discipline and vision to building a modern children's media company grounded in creativity, accessibility, and impact. This is amazing. Crystal lives in Minnesota with her husband and their 2 young children, which are here today. The dog is not here, right? But their dog Lucky, is joyfully expecting their 3rd child in the summer of 2026. Crystal, welcome home.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, thank you.
That was a lot.
I'm not tired.
You tired? And then she say, "I'm not tired." How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so happy to be here with you. Like you said, my family's here, so it feels like I'm supposed to be here. That's right.
And how old are these 2 that are here right now?
So I have 2 boys. My oldest is 5. He would tell you 5 3/4. My youngest is 3. He will say 3 3/4.
Got it.
And we do have a baby on the way, my husband and I, at the end of August.
Congratulations.
So, thank you so much.
Congratulations. The end of August sounds like a Virgo. I noticed that because I'm also a Virgo, so congratulations.
So are my other 2 boys.
Oh, wow. Virgo family.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. let's talk a little bit about your publishing, or actually before the Life Before publishing.
Life Before.
Yeah, it says you spent more than 16 years working in finance.
That's right.
What was that like, and what inspired the big career change?
Oh my goodness. So I graduated undergrad from Hamlin, so St. Paul, Minnesota, and studied finance while I was there, and went right into the industry of financial services. So after graduation, went on to become an underwriter, moved on from there, and started my MBA program in night school, and started to learn how to code. So I got recruited to one of the major banks that's here to do some anti-money laundering work, where I call it finding bad guys with data.
That's what it sounded like.
Yes, which was fun to me. That got the attention of one of the best consulting firms in the world, where I did a stint in Chicago and Hyde Park. So shout out to...
That's where I'm from.
Are you from? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I lived there for a while. My old firm, it was actually Accenture, and it was excellent. I was able to support a lot of organizations, learning all different types of facets of finance, which was very interesting to me, but also in the intersection of technology. So I would code and do finance. So basically what I would do is I would be essentially deployed into organizations to rebuild their financial systems with a team. And I did that for the better part of 2 decades between that firm and I got recruited again to a Big Four firm. So I recently left EY and actually last spring. So it's fresh. It's still fresh for me. I enjoyed my beautiful career where I was able to make a lot of great connections and learn a lot about myself and a lot about, different facets of the world. But during COVID, like a lot of people, when the world just shut down and essentially, we were all faced with this reckoning, different reckonings for each of us, right? What are we doing? So my husband and I at the time, we were fairly new to marriage, a couple of years in, but we'd been together for well over a decade before that. Decided, you know what, we should just go ahead and try to have a baby, and we did. So my now 5 3/4-year-old son was born during that time while I was still an executive and I was still working, with the high demand that my career demanded at the time. It actually forced me to take a second look at what I was doing. Just like everybody else across the world, right? We were home, we were trying all different type of things, a lot of intrinsic thought, just seeing the world, in a completely different lens with that interconnectedness. And, that Beret started there because when my son was born, I wanted to give him all the things I didn't have growing up. I'm originally from Queens, New York, from a very challenging background. I was raised by an immigrant grandmother who passed away at 9/11, so I've been on my own. I was an orphan for the better part of my life as a young teenager. So when I had kids of my own, I wanted to give them everything. I wanted to get all the books. They were going to definitely know who Beethoven was, who Vivaldi was, Chopin, everything. They were going to get everything in the beginning. But I was also looking for great composers that looked like me, that looked like us.
Hello.
And I couldn't find them. So, that sat in my spirit at the time in 2020. But I'm almost at the peak of my career at this point. So you're just like, okay, I can write these books, no problem. I'm thinking at the time, but I didn't do anything with that thought. It just lay dormant for a little bit. 2 years later, I ended up having my second son. And I don't know about you, Miic, but if you've ever had that feeling where, and I'll get spiritual for a moment, where God starts to tug and he starts to talk. And that pull is, you continue to ignore it as much as you want. Something's going to come and sway the whole situation until you pay attention. And that's what happened. Shortly after my, youngest was born, I really had to stop and think to myself, like, okay, do I want to pursue or continue to pursue this mountaintop? Everybody knows me. I've been here forever. I know what's next. Wow. Partner is next. Wow. I'm having these discussions. It's next. And I jumped off of that proverbial mountaintop and took a bet on Beret. Woo. Because I knew I wasn't the only parent, sister, friend, cousin to think this can't be it. There has to be more. So all of that, kind of technical acumen and comfortability with research and finding out the who's who was all applied to this effort. So that's how it all happened.
I was just about to ask, like, how much of what you were doing transferred easily to what you're doing now? I'm pretty good at business, I would say. So that was the easy part for me. The finance, the building the structure of a business, the understanding, what goes in, what goes out, the planning, budgeting, forecasting, all the things to create and sustain. What I wasn't as proficient in was tapping into my creative energy. And it was because I've never really needed to. I was zeros and ones, and that's the code. Wow. And then the numbers, right? Because numbers don't lie. So if the number pops out the way I expected, job is complete. On to the next. This required soul. This required depth. This required something more within me. And it required that partnership with God to do it. So that was the challenge for me. And it was like, okay, I see that you prepared me for this, but there's still more work for me to do. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This interview may go a little longer, just a little bit longer than it needed to. You took, and I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. My wife is my listeners. There is a chair. Okay, somehow it has worked its way back into the main studio, and we're gonna keep Crystal comfortable. So if you hear the squeaking, it's just a chair. We know.
I'm sorry. I am very pregnant too. If that helps. This
is gonna be great for the archives, though. I can't lie to you. Do you know what you're having?
I'm having another boy.
Okay.
So, boy, mom through and through. I'm so excited.
That is great. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have your company built around storytelling, music, and accessibility. Mm-hmm. First, I'll ask the question, then I'll tell you why the last part means so much to me. Why did you feel it was important to bring all three of those pieces together for young children and families?
That is a fantastic question because it doesn't exist today, that combination. So the multisensory kind of moniker that you're using fluidly, that I'm using fluidly now, was created. Like, it's a new category that's created. And it was important because the question was simple when I sat down with my why and the what. The how and the who and, those things, we work through. But the why is we need to get these books, these stories, in as many hands as possible. Children, young and old. And how do we do that? How do we make that so comprehensive that if someone picked it up, that they're able to learn just in a multifaceted way, no matter whether they're listening, whether they're touching, we all learn all of those little moments, because that's how children learn, right? We're not one-dimensional.
You're right. And I am a music mentor. my music mentor, I just happen to be at this point in my life, like, not to get too spiritual again, but like, I love music at the core of it. That's literally the bed of everything, right? And then I was blessed to be able to get to do all this stuff. And there's so many things from like the speaking part that is attached to music that allows me to make music, and then the production, and now I'm DJing and I'm teaching through music, and realizing that like there's something that clicks that allows you to connect with the whole person when you can do all three of these things.
That's
together.
right. That's right.
Oh boy. I wish you guys could see these books. I'm gonna do a picture or so, and you guys will be able to see or whatever online. Okay. But we often hear that the first few years of a child's life are critical for brain development, which I know. Oh, I said I was going to tell you. The accessibility part. I told you I'm the father of 7.
That's right.
My youngest daughter, Marley, is our superhero. She was born with Down syndrome. So the accessibility part, anytime anyone mentions that now, like it hits a nerve. And she also is a COVID baby.
Yeah.
So Marley,
yes.
Marley turned 5 in April, January, February, March, April.
Happy belated birthday, Marley.
Yeah. So locked in right there.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
The accessibility part is beautiful.
And accessibility benefits everyone. And the point that I want to make around that too, to your point, is that the earlier that we introduce children to different forms and ways that we learn, then no child becomes othered, right? We learn from a young age that it's something that we just do. It's not something that we have to learn or carve out, especially for someone else because we didn't think of them, right? We should all know. That's the baseline. Right?
I'm a father.
Yeah.
So like we're having this conversation. Yeah. It hits for sure. That literally was my question. I was about to ask like why do these moments matter so much? And like you said it. All of my kids were introduced to music at a very young age. They all love music still.
It's beautiful.
It's literally, and I didn't plan it. Yeah. I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Yeah. It's healing. It's transformative. It hits people in different ways. It's magic.
What do you say, speaking off what we just said, what do you say to people who think that the baby is too young to understand, or what would you say to families about why it's never too early to start reading together?
In utero, they're learning. Children are born learning, okay? So every story, every song, every single interaction, they are learning, okay? We may not see it in the same way. We're obviously more cognitively developed because we're adults, right? But it's every single interaction. So I want to take pressure off of parents because there are a lot of parents today that I've met or that you've just maybe read an article about or you've seen events where they feel like, oh, you have to do something grandiose, so you have to do something big. And you really don't. You just have to be present. Yeah. Yeah. You just have to be present. Not perfect.
And I'm always careful about how I reveal this because it's my parents listen to my shows. So it's like it's not no dig on my parents or anything like that, but I didn't really get read to a lot, which didn't really make me want to read.
Neither did I. Out loud. Yeah.
Even though they make you in school, which is something that I actually lead with now when I teach middle schoolers. It's like the time is coming. Whether you've been in front of a crowd of people or not, at some point you're gonna have to get in front of these people and say something. So it's a way for me to like allow them to break out of their shy shell and like start the public speaking. You know, I teach it as like music, like it's hip hop. You know, it's poetry. but it's public speaking.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So the confidence that's built from sitting next to your kid and letting them read to you out loud is something that's new to me. So the question, before I even could ask it, I'm thinking like, I literally was just sitting next to my daughter before the show as she's reading this book to me, learning. Talk about the importance of that. Like, why is that so important?
Well, children, you mentioned a statistic in the very beginning about 80% of brain development happens within the first 1,000 days, right? That number hits 90 by the time they're 5. Okay? So to tie that into the point that you just made as well, it's not just that you're helping them get the confidence to public speak. You're helping them learn that their voice matters, and we need to hear it. So when your young, daughter is reading next to you, it's inherently giving her that confidence, that boost, that faith that, well, if my daddy can hear me, and even if you're the only one that hears her, what a gift, because her voice matters, right? She's like, she's spitting bars in the studio is what's happening right now. So we need to be who we needed.
Oh my goodness.
We need to be who we needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The earlier in your intro, we talked, or right after your intro, we talked about the importance of not seeing many who look like you. There's this windows and mirrors meaning, right? Why is that so important? And I kind of know, right? But in your opinion, why is it important that we see ourselves in what we're doing?
So every child deserves to see a piece of themselves in a story. So this first collection, we call it the Echoes of Excellence collection. The reason why we call it that is because these are names that used to either A, teach the juggernauts that we know, the Beethovens of the world, the Vivaldis, the Chopins that we talked about earlier, or they were peers alongside of them, okay? Now, these individuals were erased. That erasure that we have so many, leaders across the country, in our communities that are fighting against. There's so many fights to be had. Pick your battle, right?
Oh, yeah.
But we have to do the work, right? So we have, in front of you, and I know for the listeners, you don't see it just yet, but a series of 5 books, okay? The first one, Vicente Lusitano, is the first Black composer ever recorded in history. Okay? He goes back all the way to the 15th century. And we brought back his sheet music and had professional composers in LA reproduce the sheet music so that you can hear it in the books.
So you can hear it in the books.
That's right. There's other individuals like George Bridgetower, who was good friends with Beethoven. Beethoven revered him so much, and we don't. Again, I want to say we don't want to discredit the great work that other composers have done, but that should not come at the expense of others who also contributed in meaningful ways that have matriculated through society as we know it now. So my job, my calling, is to bring these voices back to life. And we do that through books. We do that through the music, through recreating their music, bringing back actual sheet music, the MIDI notes, everything, bringing it back with the real instruments, all the work, putting it in the books, and we also do it with cartoons. So we talk about each of these individuals will have their own episode. We dropped 2 already. So George Bridgetower, and you will see like a tidbit of Beethoven in there as well. And them playing together. You'll hear the music that they played together back in the 17th century. which has been pretty fun.
So the books, and I'm gonna post a little video clip that I just took. But the books, so there's only 4 here. Is there another?
I have your Chevalier in my hand.
You see what I'm saying? I gotta make sure.
I'll give it to you because you're able to press the button and even play for the listeners too if you want to hear it.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, where's the button I press?
So they're all in each. So you see a little silver button there. So on that page, you should see
Right
it there. Yep. And there's in the back of the book.
Hey, my daughter's gonna flip out. Okay, wait. They're gonna flip out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Okay. So we talked about how seeing yourself matters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How come? So you have your family here with you today.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it for you to have them with you while you do stuff like this?
They need to be able to see what's possible. I am in an interracial marriage. So my family, my husband is white. I am black. He is from here in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm from Queens, New York. We grew up with very different experiences and still found each other beautifully to have our beautiful children here. Living here in Minnesota, it doesn't have as much of the cultural roots as I had in New York growing up. So when my children see their mom, because they're going to be exposed to the social structure of America. They already are at 5 and 3 in unique ways. There's been a lot of change and a lot of turmoil in Minnesota lately. You can't put blinders on for those things. So I bring them actually to every interview.
Wow.
And every celebration because they need to see what it means to be young black men watching a black woman be celebrated for giving it all she's got.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm just happy the recordings of this will exist because she's spitting bars here. This is one of the, we don't get to have these interviews without like being sharpened ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So like that, whoever is lucky enough to be the person that gets to interview you, like I already feel blessed.
Thank you. As do I.
Look. And I got a chance I was eating Cheerios. We're talking with our sons. And, you know what I'm saying? We just kicking it out in the little lobby area. Okay, I have one more question for you. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those things that's like functions as like food for thought for my listeners. The segment that we're doing this in, it's called Food for the Culture. My show is called For the Culture. Mm-hmm. It's like a cookout every weekend. Mm-hmm. So that's what the show usually is. Mm-hmm. And every now and then I get a chance to interview someone. But for the most part, the music is like 90s, 2000, 2010 hip-hop, R&B, and then some soul from the 70s, and and it's like golden era artists. It's like a cookout. Mm-hmm. Like just add some music, go beautiful. Cook in the background, put a song, and just start the grill.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. So this is your food for thought. When families finish listening today, what is one small thing you hope they do differently when it comes to reading, singing, and or sharing with the young children that are in their lives?
The one thing, I mentioned it earlier, we need to be who we needed. Again, it doesn't have to be a big production, just those little moments. You have a song that you love, let's sing it together. Let me teach you. I used to dance like this. Let me teach you, all of the things that let me teach you. You know how much kids love to learn? And they're looking up to each and every one of us to try and be the fullest versions of themselves. Let's not let them down. Let's not let ourselves down. when, we get the privilege of growing old and thinking about what we could have done differently. Don't just think about what you could have done differently. Think about the things that you did good, that you did right. And that's what you do now. Those little things. That's what you do now. That's what we do right. Right?
There you go. I love it. Thank you for listening to this interview. You can hear a recording of this show at littlemomentscount.org/podcast. I'll also have a version on my archive as well, so talk to me if you want to hear more. If you'd like to learn more about Little Moments Count, you can visit their website at littlemomentscount.org. Crystal, thank you, and thank you for the gifts, and thank you for the bag.
You're welcome. And if anybody wants to find any of the Beret books, you can find us at www.beretpublishing.com. That's BERET publishing.com. And for anyone listening today, we are giving 50% off of the books with the code MPR until and through the 4th of July.
That's nice. Mm-hmm. That's nice. And you're going to want these books. You get your own. You can't have mine. So you make sure you get your own. Okay, one more time with the website.
www.beretpublishing.com.
Okay. Crystal, thank you one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, hang tight. Everything we do is for the culture.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.